Coming up on Energy TV, is history repeating itself?
It's no different than any of these other crises that happened in the past, whether it be, 9/11, terrible thing that happened, but, was probably one of the best buying opportunities.
We talk about recession-proofing your business.
The customer is who's got them to where they are today, and a lot of times we think too much internally and we need to be thinking externally. And the customer and the relationship that we need to have with that customer is more important now than it ever was before.
And we profile geothermal technology.
As an operating cost, we're going to have an advantage over our competitors in that our energy costs over the next 10, 20, 30 years is going to be much lower.
The following is brought to you by Halliburton. Halliburton, from Canada, for Canada.
Welcome to Energy TV. I'm Helena DeVries. Well, it's no secret we're in the midst of a serious recession, but it's not the first time our economy has gone from boom to bust. In this next story, we look at the market uncertainty and try to determine if this cycle is similar to the ones in the past and how to deal with it.
The recession. It's on the minds of everyone, creating a sense of tension in the economy. But is it a case of history repeating itself? Brian Menace of Investors Group has seen this type of market activity before, which is why he advises not to panic.
I don't think that this is any different. I think that there is certainly some challenges in the market, but we'll get through this like we have anything else in the past.
However, as Menace has seen from past market situations, times of crisis can also create market opportunities.
It's no different than any of these other crises that happened in the past, whether it be, 9/11, terrible thing that happened, but, was probably one of the best buying opportunities. The Gulf War, again, this war is breaking out and all this decline in the markets back in 1990, the markets are going down, 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 and the war starts, all this positive news comes back, and the biggest one-day increase in history.
Through the turmoil, Menace does see some positives in today's bear market.
2008 has been the worst year in the last 50 years. So what does that tell you? It tells you that it's the best time to buy in the last 50 years.
When identifying opportunities, Menace says he looks for a consensus in the market.
Everybody says run away. I'm a contrarian. It's time to buy. Okay, and it's the same the other way around. When everybody's saying buy, 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 this is a good deal, buy this, buy that, everything's just going to keep going up. I would run the other way because, once everybody's bought, there's nobody left to buy. Once everybody's sold, there's nobody left to sell. Time to buy.
So when it comes to investing in today's corporate climate, Menace emphasizes time, not timing.
So the reality is it's time, not timing. And if you're a long-term investor, the time to invest is now, and it's better than it was before. If you invested last spring, or last summer or September when the markets were at a high, you know what? Not a big deal either. If you're a long-term investor, your long-term return isn't going to be that much different when you look at it, like I said, from 1,000 feet.
Sure, some factors have changed since past recessions, says Menace, but overall he believes it's not that different. When things will improve is anyone's guess, but basically if you're looking long-term, your investments will ride this out, he says.
We got to look at long-term when we're looking at long-term investments. So making sure that you're matching your investments with your time frame, with your risk profile, with your comfort zone, and certainly using all of those factors in determining what's the most appropriate portfolio for you today and moving forward based on all of your own goals and objectives.
Chad Carrier, Energy TV.
Certainly in these challenging times, business owners are looking for all the advice they can get. It's in tough times like these that some companies barely survive while others actually thrive. So we sought some advice on how to recession-proof your business. Here's what we found out.
There is a recession on. There's going to be companies that grow. There's going to be companies that get smashed by it. It's going to be up to the choice of those executive teams as to which way they go with that.
In Canada, the sting of the recession has hit home as many businesses are on lifeline tactics. But it doesn't have to be this way, says Simon Mundell of New Zealand-based business coaching Results.com. He believes companies can build a recession-proof business and even recognize that there are market share growth opportunities to be had.
And that's what people should be looking to is, how can I grow market share? Because while other people are, focusing on all the negative stuff, if you can focus on gaining market share, you can come out of this recession in a very, very good light.
Scott Morris, who handles the Canadian operations of the company, agrees. He sees too many companies making the same mistake, not focusing on the customer.
The customer is who's got them to where they are today, and a lot of times we think too much internally and we need to be thinking externally. And the customer and the relationship that we need to have with that customer is more important now than it ever was before.
According to the company, one common mistake a lot of businesses tend to make is focusing on too many areas at once. Rather, pick your key business strategy and expand upon it when ready.
It's so critical that they don't lose sight of what has gotten them to where they are today, and that they leverage that and be able to look at these opportunities that are going to surface out there and proactively go after them, because they're the ones that are going to own that space at the end of the day.
However, Simon Mundell also adds that there are some external tools companies can learn and employ. He says an effective tool is creating a company dashboard system that highlights business and individual progress through a visual stoplight color system. It brings visibility to the team where green means success and of course red means cause for concern.
It really drives behaviour. When a green indicator turns yellow, it gets people's attention. When it turns red, it gets everyone's attention. And people drive around to push it back up the chart again.
Another effective strategy, according to Mundell, is creating a streamlined one-page strategic plan. As he says, too many companies get caught up in elaborate inactive documents that collect dust in office drawers.
The one-page plan is designed so that everyone in the business has it in front of them. Everyone knows where the business is going long-term, 3 to 5 years, 1 year and the next 90 days, and what everyone in the business has to do in the next 90 days, plus what your values are, how you behave. And it really drives the companies to go, really, to use a Jim Collins term, from good to great and be very, very robust businesses.
So whether you're a small business or a huge energy company, Mundell says when it comes to recession-proofing your business, it doesn't matter the field. It's all the same principles.
Business is business. It changes in size, it might change in geography, it might change in product or service, but at the end of the day, the fundamentals on how to run a business don't change.
Chad Carrier, Energy TV.
For more information, you can log on to results.com. Now, coming up after the break, we profile one company that's using geothermal energy to gain a competitive advantage.
We're taking the energy that's already stored in the ground, we're bringing that into the building, and through the magic of our heat pumps, our geothermal heating system, we're able to take that temperature and amplify it to the temperature we need in the building.
We must also say that there is a financial advantage to being geothermally heated. And we welcome that, but we also wanted to reduce our own carbon footprint.
More on that when we return.
Portions of this program are brought to you by Niblack Mining.
This episode brought to you by Vintage Pre-Finished Hardwood Flooring.